Peace and blessings. How's everybody doing? Michael Fireborn here, and today we are diving into our third installment of Mastering Your Sexual Energy. I really wish I could have put like an asterisk on this video topic before I even started, because really this isn't just about sexual energy. These teachings, what is being shared with you today and for the past two videos, can actually be applied to all areas of your spiritual life, in your personal life. These are tools that are going to help you become a balanced human being and find that power that's inside of you that allows you to be able to face whatever circumstances life brings you. And so what we're talking about really here is being able to navigate your life with intelligence and with wisdom. That intelligence that comes to us through our meditation practice, it comes to us through our intuition, and that wisdom that comes to us from the experiences of our life. I'm glad to be on this third installment because I'm really looking forward to getting into some other topics, especially around the topic of me sharing my experience with genital herpes and dealing with that, more specifically on dealing with shame and embarrassment and how that plays into how we carry ourselves in the world, how we let our mind rumble and buzz and get out of control with worrying about what other people think about us, and how this infects every aspect of our life. And so I really want you to be looking forward to those videos that are coming up after this series. And if you want to stay tuned into that, be sure to hit the subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when new videos are uploaded. Okay, let's get into it. So today, what the overriding theme of this video is around our sexual energy and mastering our sexual energy. The overriding theme of today's video is going to be study, contemplation, application. And so if we're going to attain our full potential as human beings, study is a huge, huge part of that journey. Now, with the study that we embark on, what we have to remember is that curiosity, being very curious about what other teachings are out there, different modalities, different ways of thinking, different ways of approaching life, different ways of problem solving. Because I actually was listening to a recording that it randomly played on my phone today. And as many of you know, my mom transitioned. She left last year because of COVID. She was in the hospital for over a month, but a recording came up on my phone and I was listening to it this morning. Just randomly popped up. You know, you have your MP3 player, your iPhone or smartphone on, you know, it just picks random songs. And the one that came up was a voice memo that I made for my mom while she was in the hospital. And basically I was telling her how much I appreciate her, how much I love her, and, you know, wishing her well and all this. But one part that just stuck out to me as I was listening to it this morning: I love you. I really, really, really appreciate you and everything you've done to help me get to this point in my life. And I know I would not have been here, not only physically, if it wasn't for you, but so many times you just stepped in right at the right time to help me get my shit together. So thank you for being just the supreme mama-san. Always so much love from you, absolute love, unconditional love, always beaming and shining from you. And I know I've just been really blessed in this lifetime to have had you as a mother. Not only, you know, for all the times you saved my ass, you know, through all my stuff with drugs and alcohol and all that stuff, but just, you know, having such an open-hearted, open-minded mom to take me to different, you know, religions, and keeping me open to being open to finding my own way and my own path in life spiritually. That is truly a blessing. I could have easily been born into a family with some kind of fundamental Bible thumping mom or something, and so God bless you, man. Growing up, my mom, she took us to different churches, different denominations of Christianity. When I was in high school, I decided to become Muslim. I studied Islam for a couple of years. I changed my name to Umar Ali Shahid. I was always a very curious spiritual person. And a big part of that is because my mom always presented us with different ways of looking at things, different ways of approaching things. And on top of that, she allowed us as a parent to explore, to be curious. The curious, open, spiritual person, wise way to approach life is to be curious, to be open, and to allow yourself to see what else is out there in the world, and to not be so blind, willful blindness, where you miss out on something that could help you radically transform yourself and transform your life. So spiritual study is so important. Next up, contemplation. When you get out there and you start looking at different meditation techniques, you start looking at different spiritual practices, you start looking at different prophets and sages and teachings that have come from the past. You've done the study. Now it's time for contemplation. If we are studying, we study actively, and then we set aside, consciously set aside time to contemplate. And we do that, in whatever way feels good for you. Sometimes I really like going on a hike, going on a walk, and, thinking about what I just read, thinking about what lecture that I just heard, really specifically taking time to set an intention. If I just got done watching an hour-long lecture by somebody, I'm going to take some time to actually let that sink in and ask myself some questions, and whatever teachings came from that, I wonder how I could apply that to my life. And thirdly, what we're talking about today is application. And how do we apply it to our life? And so when you come out of that contemplation, there's going to be some things that land for you. There's going to be some things that resonate for you. And so now there's an opportunity to actually apply it to your life. And when you set the intention to actually apply some teaching to your life, what's important is that you have enough clarity that you're gonna stick with it and stick to it. Your life is a science experiment. In the experiment, you actually have to see it through all the way and see if you can get the results. So if something resonates with you, trust that feeling. Don't let your mind start, having a dialogue about, man, maybe this is just this is nonsense. I don't know. I'm just going to keep doing it. I'm just going to go to the gym now, or I'm going to do whatever your old pattern is. If you come across a new teaching and something strikes a chord with you, really, really honor that. And after your contemplation and you look at how you might be able to apply it to your life, actually apply it to your life. Really, really take this practice, this spiritual practice, approach it like it is a video game, and there is something to win. Because what we're talking about is the prize is total liberation. These lifetimes that we're living are strung together for an infinity. You can continue to chase your tail, chase your desires, chase the things that make you feel good, the things that you cling to. You can continue to push away the things that you don't want to deal with for this entire lifetime. But not only that, for the next lifetime and the next lifetime. When you really get that, when you understand that your salvation, that your liberation, that your freedom is absolutely 110 million% up to you. When you really understand what karma actually is, cause and effect. In the Bible, it's hidden as an allegory, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. Cause and effect, karma. So there is a law about creation. There is a law that upholds duality. There is a law that upholds this existence. That law is karma. And once you really see that, then you understand that reincarnation is real. That if you don't deal with the things that you are supposed to be dealing with in this lifetime, you come right back and you do it again. And you do it again and you do it again. And the divine God, divine mother, heavenly Father, great spirit, whatever you want to call it, has infinite patience. Because there's nowhere to go until you get it right. There's nowhere to go until you come home. There's nowhere to go until you realize that you're it. That there is nothing outside of you that is going to fix you. You have to fix you. And so all of these things that we are here on this planet Earth to deal with and to work through, we have to actually take up our cross and bear that burden. We actually have to take the hero's journey. We actually have to have some struggle, some resistance, some abrasiveness. We actually have to be tested and baptized by the fire of our experiences. And there's nobody outside of yourself that's going to be able to do that except for you. So when you really, really get it, and then you put that in the context of this life is limited and your time is running out, and man, it just lights a fire under your butt to actually apply what spirit is bringing to your life. I know that for you, whatever you need to work on has already come up for you and you already know what it is, but are you going to do it? Are you going to put down that alcohol? Are you going to stop going to those porn websites? Are you going to stop going out to the bar? Are you going to stop being a womanizer? Are you going to start looking within? Are you going to start meditating? Are you going to start cleaning up your diet? Are you going to start exercising? Are you going to be a conscious human being? Are you going to honor the fact that you have a body and take care of it? This is all up to you. So, it's really easy to, number one, get scared and afraid of what these 99.999% of all these churches and temples around the world, these organized religions, God bless them. Everybody's where they're at. Thank God for that. I'm not throwing any shade. I'm not throwing any hate. A lot of churches and people and temples are good people, etc. But they're telling you that there is a God that if you don't do good and you don't do right, you're going to hell. They're telling you if you don't do X, Y, and Z, you're going to burn in a lake of fire. I'm sorry, but that's not truth. Truth is that the divine, the one that you were created in the likeness and image of, is infinite love, infinite unconditional love. And you and I, as perfect reflections of that divine love, being our higher self or our soul, we happen to be incarnated here on Earth, living out a human experience. And in this experience, the only thing standing between your true reality, which is the perfect reflection of the divine, your soul, the only thing standing in between that is your mind. Your mind is your worst roommate. Your mind is telling you and screwing up your life and having you have all these dialogues about what people are doing, what they're saying, why they did this, why they did that. You think that you deserve to have X, Y, and Z partner. You think that you deserve to be able to take a break and have that glass of wine. You think you need to do this. It's all your mind. And the only one that's going to be able to bring that mind into abeyance, to bring the five senses into abeyance, to be able to put some calm and some coolness into your five senses and calm down and let go of all your desires before you leave your body. The only one that's going to be able to do that is you. Oh, and it is quite the task. So let's embark on it. Let's not think that we have time to just, have a good time. And, for those people that want to do that, great. Let them do it. Like I said, this ride keeps going on and on and on. But when you want to get off, when you've had enough and you don't want to come back here again, then you're going to take your spiritual practice. You're going to take this opportunity, this blessed opportunity in a human body to actually become liberated, to actually attain self-realization, to actually realize Christ consciousness. Study, contemplation, application. These three things you take on, and then you can start looking at mastering that sexual energy, which is going to be a blessing in your life, because you'll be able to, with the sexual energy, especially for men, but for women as well, that sexual energy and everything that it entails is such a huge distraction. The gross material reality that we're living in here on earth, gross material physical reality, is such a low manifestation of reality. And once we're ready to get out of there, we've got to let go of all these gross physical things, including the desire to objectify and to have another person to gratify our sexual needs, which basically comes down to chemistry and hormones. Can you conquer and bring under control your chemistry, your hormones? Because human beings, you come to earth, and there was a certain time in the evolution of the human species to just be all about procreation, because these souls wanted to come here to incarnate, to do the work, to evolve spiritually. But the human being, despite what popular culture tells us, we don't come here to just make babies and get married and, have a white picket fence and a house and die having not had any spiritual evolution, having just gone to church on Sundays. That's not what life's about. Life is about what Christ actually says, and that is that the kingdom of God is within you, and Christ, Yeshua, teaches us that all these things that I do, you can do even greater. So do you want that? Do you want Satchitananda, absolute existence, absolute knowing, absolute bliss? Do you want to be done with these endless cycles of birth and dying and birth and dying? Do you want to be done with that and move on in your spiritual evolution? Then say yes to your yoga meditation practice. Your yoga meditation practice is going to give you the tools you need to be able to let go, to surrender, and to stop pushing away the lessons that Spirit brings into your life, and to stop clinging to the things that your five senses think you want because your mind tells you so. Your meditation practice is going to give you the spiritual power and the wisdom to be behind your monkey mind and stop allowing your terrible roommate to keep getting you in trouble. I know a lot of people out there say, "Oh, I'm not gonna drink anymore. I'm gonna stop. I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna do that anymore." But your mind somehow keeps getting you to go back and doing the same thing. And guess what? It's another day's gone by. You have one less day to actually apply these teachings and to liberate yourself. Oh yeah. All right, y'all. It's time we get out of here. May all beings everywhere take time every day for study, contemplation, and application of spiritual teachings that will help them to become a self-realized, Christ consciousness awakened human being on planet Earth who exemplifies unconditional love. May all beings everywhere take time every day for yoga, meditation. My name is Michael Fireborn. I'm right here with you.